we're going to talk about the max pull-up test for athletes. The reason we would use this test is to measure upper body strength endurance, specifically that of the pulling muscles. The pros and cons of this test. The pros of this test is that it's fairly easy to administer and requires very little equipment beyond a pull-up bar. And this test also is a measurement of relative strength. And so this test essentially measures strength to weight ratio. And so there is no difference for an individual who's lighter or heavier or has more or less muscle mass. The cons of this test is that there are many variations of the pull-up, such as grip width, or whether they're using a pronated or a supinated grip. And the individual administering the test it can be fairly subjective as to what constitutes a completed repetition and what constitutes good form. And so those are things that an individual using this test needs to be aware of. One of the other problems with this test as well is that depending on age or perhaps the sport, there are many athletes who may simply not be able to complete a single pull-up, which makes a test like this fairly difficult to use if there's zero results. There are alternatives to the pull-up test. You can do a flexed arm hang as an alternative. You can also use a band-assisted pull-up to assist the athlete to be able to complete more than one rep. And for reliability and validity sake, one just needs to be aware of which method they used, any kind of an assistance device, and make sure that that they use the same thing the next time around. As far as the technique for doing the pull-up in this test, the athlete is going to grasp the bar at slightly wider than shoulder width using a pronated grip. If they use a supinated grip, then they're performing a chin-up, and it uses a different set of muscles, which would not be what we're looking for in this specific test. The pull-up must be a strict pull-up, and what that means is there can be no assistance from the lower body through kicking or kipping or any other maneuver which might create momentum to complete the rep. And then a completed rep in the pull-up is one where the athlete will pull themselves up so their chin is just above the bar. However, the chin should not touch or rest on the bar during the repetition. And so now I will show a couple of strict repetitions, and then also we'll add a couple of examples that would be a no count or would not count towards someone's score on this test. So, like I said, the athlete will grab the bar at slightly wider than shoulder width, and then from a complete dead hang, they will complete a rep until the chin is just slightly above the bar. At the bottom of each rep, the athlete must come to a complete dead hang before they begin the next rep. Examples of a no count would be if the chin doesn't quite clear the bar, or if the athlete doesn't come down to a complete dead hang, or like I said, if the athlete uses any type of momentum in their body to assist in their pull-up. And so examples would be if they complete a rep without the chin above the bar, or if they complete a rep by using their body to assist, or if upon completing a rep, the athlete does not come down to a dead hang. They don't completely extend the elbow. So that is how we administer a max pull-up test.